Megan, I didn't think you were coming back until this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I took the last flight out last night.
Have you talked to Vicky yet, or your dad?
No. I dropped my bags at the waterside and jumped in my car and came straight over here.
Let me take your coat. You want some coffee?
No, thank you.
Why don't you come on in and sit down? There's something we need to talk to you about.
Don't worry, I am not going to give a bunch of interviews to the media about what went on in Mendorra. Raymond has a press conference tomorrow morning. I'm sure he'll go over all of that. I'm actually kind of surprised. Why aren't there a bunch of TV cameramen outside right now?
They greeted us at the airport. We answered a few questions and then said we weren't going to talk about it anymore.
Good. Good for you. That's good.
Look, I know it wasn't easy for you leaving Raymond.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm sure that he will find another woman someday. We could marry some woman with royal bloodlines. You know, I know it's useless, but as we were driving to the airport, I really wanted to just turn that car around and go right back to the palace. I really wish that I had.
Anytime you want to talk about this, Bo and I are here for you, okay?
Thanks. Thanks, but I'm not going to need your help because I've decided to go back to Mendorra. Hello.
Hi.
I checked on you about half an hour ago. You were sound asleep.
Yeah, well, the rumblings in my stomach woke me up.
Oh. Sorry, I can't fix you any breakfast.
Yeah, me too. I guess I can't eat before the operation.
No. Well, don't just stand there. Come in.
Lily, I'm real nervous about this operation.
Gabrielle?
Oh, thank you.
Good heavens, your hands are freezing.
Yes, I seem to stay cold all the time these days. Oh, don't worry, it's all right. What do you think of this idea about the Outlook House?
I think it's absolutely wonderful, especially the idea that you're doing the fundraising. I'd hoped you'd find some way to get back into life, and this is just the ticket. I'm sorry I won't be able to give you a large check, but if there's anything else you want.
Well, as a matter of fact, there is something you can do for me.
Just name it.
I would like you to put a list together of the richest, most eligible bachelors in Llanview.
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one night to live. You write about young eligibles in your column, don't you? It's not exclusive to old fogies and CEOs.
No. As a matter of fact, I think I know a couple of CEOs who are also young, eligible bachelors.
Good. Put them at the top of the list.
Darling, I'm glad to see that my advice hasn't been falling on deaf ears. I knew that you'd be able to find a life without Max. And you see, as soon as you try it, you're happier already.
I am not on the prowl for a new man.
Oh, well, I wasn't suggesting you were on the prowl,
Yes, you
Gabrielle.
were. I want the list because I want to hit them up for a donation.
A donation? Oh, I see. I thought when you said eligible young bachelors that you were thinking
Well, I
of getting...
want them to be eligible so that my charms will work. I don't be worried about jealous wives getting in the way, now do I?
Yes, that's very smart of you, darling.
Besides, I've been thinking you were right. Whether I care if I live or not, I must think of Al. And if this is a success, then people will learn to trust me, perhaps even respect me, and that will be good for Al.
Yes, darling. I'm very proud of you that you've started to think about Al. But I still feel very strongly the one way for you to secure...
I don't need a husband to secure my future.
Oh, I'm not talking about you getting married in the next month or so. I just think now it's a good time to start to investigate some new relationships. All right?
Here you go, Mum. You know what? I can handle my own life. Thank you for your worry and your concern, but I do have my own plans.
Well, tell me, what are they?
Gabrielle!
I am so sorry. I really am.
I know you're nervous. I understand. Come in and talk to me. Come on.
No. You were reading and you seemed to be enjoying it, and I'm afraid I'd be a downer.
I have the perfect antidote for depression. Come and sit down. Come on. Let's see. Travel magazines. They always lift my spirits. Just pick any country and transport yourself. It's quite magical.
So, I mean, have you done a lot of traveling? I mean, obviously, you know, before the accident.
You know, actually, not since I was a kid. My mom and dad used to take me up to our mountain house. It was so beautiful. It's quiet. And you could see for miles.
Sounds really beautiful.
Yeah. Have you traveled a lot? I mean, other than from Texas to Llanview?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the whole world or anything, but I've managed to see some places I've read about.
Tell me about your very favorite place in all the world. And start with your favorite one. Well, if you have a favorite.
No contest. Argentina.
Sign that.
That's where I first saw Gabrielle. Oh, God, I wish I could start all over again.
What's the matter with you?
It's those clothes.
What about him?
They're Max's.
I know. I got him out of his closet. He's got sport coats and jackets.
You can't wear them.
Why not? They fit me.
It's not right. You don't have the permission. It's just not right for you to be wearing them.
Andy, you told me what a generous guy was. I figured nobody would mind.
I mind. It's wrong. It's sacrilegious. Just go right upstairs now and change.
Andy, I know how you felt about Max and how tough it's been losing him. But these clothes, anybody could buy them in a store. There's nothing sacred about them. Look, I'm sorry I didn't ask, that I upset you. As soon as I can, I'll go out and buy myself some new clothes. I'll get these pressed and cleaned. I'll put them back in the closet for you, okay?
Okay.
But I mean, in the meantime, I've got nothing to wear. My stuff's a mess. It's caked with blood. I'm in a bind here. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll see if I can get my stuff clean in the wash, okay?
No, wait. You're right. You're right. Wear them as long as you need them, and then just promise to put them back and don't touch anything else when Max is okay.
Okay, I promise.
Got some personal business.
Offer me help.
Andy, I want some answers.
You want an answer? Get out and quit harassing me, all right?
You know, you are very lucky that I did not call hospital security, or you would be sitting in a jail cell right now. Now, when you steal drugs from the hospital, you have to pay the price, Andy. You have got two choices. You can talk to me, or you can talk to the cops. Take your pick.
I don't shoot up, Dr. Wallach. I don't pop pills. Look, check me out if you want to, huh? Huh? Go ahead. Please, be my guest. Look into my eyes, huh? Well, what's your verdict?
Well, you seem clean.
Oh, well, we don't want to leave any doubts. Why don't you get out your medical bag, huh, and examine it? Why don't you take a blood test and send it back to the hospital?
That won't be necessary.
Oh. Does the great doctor finally believe me?
Andy, look, if you are not popping pills, then why did you steal them from the hospital? Do you need money to keep this place going? Is that it?
Oh, great. That's really great. You think I'm going to run this place on drug money? Are you out of your mind? I have a little more respect for my brother's memory than that.
Then explain the pills, Andy.
I already did. I told you yesterday. I got them for a friend.
Andy, who is this friend of yours?
Doesn't matter anyway. It's all right. You see, he decided that he didn't want them anyway and threw them away and then left town. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get back to work.
Andy, I know that you're lying to me. If you don't say... What was that?
I didn't hear anything.
Andy, I thought that you were living here on your own.
I am.
Then who's in the back?
You know, I spent most of the time on the way home thinking and trying to convince myself that I had to face reality, that I had to give up on Raymond. And I thought that I had done that. But then I got back to my suite at the Waterside Inn, and I realized, Sarah, that I had been lying to myself. I can't just do that. I can't give up on him. It's not the last 2 months that we've spent together. I have to go to Mendorra.
Megan, why torture yourself? Things aren't really going to be any different. Raymond, he can't marry you. You'd eventually end up coming home anyway, and it'd be even harder for you than it is right now.
I mean, Raymond's the king now. And as much as he'd love to continue a relationship with you and probably even marry you, he can't do that without giving up the throne.
And you don't want him to give up the throne, do you?
No, that's not what I want at all. But that doesn't mean that we can't be together. Well, I could be his mistress.
His mistress?
Yes. There's certainly a history of that amongst royal types. I mean, definitely, there's a long history of that. Well, I don't know why the two of you look so shocked. I'm sorry, but that is better than nothing right now. And I have nothing right now.
I think you're exhausted, okay? And you're not in a position right now to make any sort of a rational decision about this.
But you don't understand. I'm not being emotional. I'm not speaking from an emotional place. I'm being practical. I'm being reasonable. Raymond loves me and I love him. We want to be together. I think this is a good solution.
Have you talked to Raymond about this?
Well, no, I haven't. I don't think that he would ask this of any woman, but I know that if I volunteered, if I said this is what I wanted to do, that I think he would say yes.
I don't think he will.
Well, I don't think you know, Bo. I mean, if your choice was to give up Sarah or to have her as your mistress, don't you think
I'd give her up.
What?
Rather than having her live in some hideaway somewhere. I don't care if it's a castle, sneaking in and sneaking out. And in Raymond's case, the children that you would have wouldn't even be his legitimate heirs.
Megan, I really think he'd want you to find happiness with someone else. And even if you were selfish enough to say that he can't live without you, do you really think you could be happy? How would you feel when he married someone else? I think you would start hating yourself because you accepted second best.
And that's just going to bring more heartache on you. And that's not fair to you. Or to Raymond.
At least get some rest, all right? Think about this some more before you make any kind of a decision.
I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm so confused.
Megan, I am so sorry that things didn't turn out differently.
Oh, it's not as if I didn't know. I mean, Raymond was always honest with me. It was my fault. I should never have gone to Mendorra.
Yeah, but you went there to help him.
Yes. I went there, Bo, also hoping that, I don't know. I really don't know what my problem is. Why is it that I fall for every man that I can't have? First Max, now Raymond.
Look, there's something that we need to tell you about Max.
What, he got married? That doesn't surprise me. I'm happy for him and Gabrielle. I really am. You know, I really don't care.
Max and Gabrielle were going to get married. And then something terrible happened.
Megan, Max was in an accident. He was killed.
Cord told me about it on the flight over. He didn't tell me before because we were so preoccupied with saving Sarah's life on our own. But then he realized that before I saw you, I had to know. I mean, Mum, why didn't you tell me before?
Oh, I thought about ringing you a million times. It just seemed inappropriate. You were alone in a foreign country.
Yes, I understand, but Gabrielle, when I got that letter saying how much Max loved you, I felt so happy that you were going to be happy at last.
Well, Gabrielle will find happiness again.
Well, yes, I know, but I mean, if Max hadn't taken so much time to admit that he loved you, I mean, all that wasted time.
Darling, why don't you tell us about the coup in Mendorra? We read very little about it in the papers.
Cord and I talked on the airplane. He told me how much Max would have loved to have been in Mendorra.
I don't want to talk about Max, all right?
Gabrielle, it helped me to talk about Max and hear the
Well, I
story.
don't think it's going to help me. And I already know all the stories. I don't want to hear them again.
Sorry.
Darling, your sister is trying very hard to stitch together a new life. She doesn't want to think about the past. She wants to concentrate on the future.
Of course. So, were you in Mendorra when the coup took over?
Part of the time. I helped, Beau, Megan and Dorian escape from the castle.
I don't know if I want to hear about all this.
Oh, Mom, you would have been proud of me. And surprised. I even surprised myself.
Did you make it to the wedding?
No, I was in Austria by then.
Oh, we saw you dancing on the telecast. You were absolutely stunning, darling. Really, everyone said you could obviously be a prima ballerina.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I just don't know if that's what I want right now.
I'm sure you might not want to go all the way back to Mendorra now to study dancing, but obviously you wouldn't want to give it up altogether.
I don't know. I just know that I'm happy to be home and it feels good to be around my family again.
We're very happy to have you here, aren't we, Gabrielle? But I suspect that perhaps we're not the only attraction that Llanview holds for you. Perhaps it has a teeny-weeny bit to do with one Cord Roberts.
According to the police department, Max may have hit a patch of ice in the street, lost control of the car, maybe swerved to avoid an animal. There are a lot of deer up there. Anyway, the car crashed into a tree. And then...
And then what? He was killed immediately.
Yeah.
There's something you're not telling me, Beau. I'd like to know all the details.
There was a fire. The gas tank exploded.
But the doctors told the police that he did not suffer at all, Megan, if that's any consolation.
You knew about this before you left for Mendorra?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you about it as soon as I got there, but we were fighting for our lives. I didn't want to hit you with news like that. I didn't even tell Sarah until last night.
It's just hard, you know, thinking about a life without Max. So, what happened after Gabrielle went off to the convent?
Well, Max found her there. He talked her out of Sting, and they were going to get married.
Yeah. Poor Gabrielle. She's been in love with him since Argentina. So did she go back to the convent?
No. She was devastated at first. She looked like a zombie at this memorial service.
But Renee did say that she's pulling herself together. In fact, she's even started working on this a fundraising project of Vicky's, the Outlook House.
Yeah, it's a place for teenagers that abuse drugs.
What about Andy?
Renee said she's doing pretty well.
Well, I think she's a tough kid, you know, but I feel badly. Max was the only family she had, so she's basically alone now. At least Gabrielle has Deborah and Al and her mother. Yeah, I think maybe I will go to Max's place, okay?
And you know we're always here for you.
Yeah. Do you want me to go with you?
No, thanks. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'll call you guys later.
One hell of a homecoming, huh?
At least we're alive. You know, there was a time when I thought Dad was going to be planning a memorial service for us.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Listen, if you want to put off our plans for this morning, that's okay with me.
No. I don't want to postpone anything anymore, all right? Life is just too short. Max, you can spend your life thinking about what might have been, but now you need to concentrate on what might be once Jared's done his work.
Yeah. And what, get all caught up in false dreams and false hopes? I mean, me walking into the bar and Gabrielle running into my arms?
It could happen. It could. Look at what Jared's done for me. Well, you said yourself when you came in, I look all right.
You don't look all right. You look beautiful.
Oh, whatever.
But probably your burns weren't as bad as mine. And there's no guarantee that he'll be as inspired.
You're very superstitious. And I think you must think you're going to jinx this if you have too much hope. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do the hoping for you, okay? So you can do for me, what you can do for me in return is tell me about all the wonderful places that you've been. Have you been to Europe?
Yeah.
Well, where? London, Paris, Rome? Where?
I traveled all over France.
Oh, there's an article in this magazine about the Abbey at...
Fontevraud.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, isn't that the place that has the, what was it, the octagonal tower and the Chinese-looking bell turrets?
Yes, and those were kitchens. Yes, and also it said that at one time there were 5,000 monks and nuns living there.
Can you imagine that? Now, Lily, now instead of reading, why don't you visit these places? I mean, take Jared. I mean, nowadays it doesn't cost that much to travel.
It's not the cost. Jared's so swamped with work, and I can hardly get him away for a weekend, much less a week or even more.
Well, then go by yourself. Or better yet, go in a group.
What, like travel agents arrange?
Yeah. I mean, if you shop around, you can get great bargains. And then you meet wonderful people, and when you come back, you'll have some real memories you can think about.
I just don't like traveling. It's so tiring and...
Hey, you'll never be tired. I mean, you'll just keep thinking how wonderful time you had.
I just don't think it's... I just don't like traveling. I'd rather read about it in the magazines.
Why are you frightened all of a sudden? I mean, what just happened?
My God, I think if I'd known about all this, I'd have had a heart attack.
It was terrifying, but I was never afraid for myself. There was always someone else that I was worrying about. Isn't that strange?
No, it's not strange, darling. You were that sort of child. You were always far more worried about everyone else than you were about yourself. Well, I expect now that you went through all these dangerous circumstances with Cord, that you probably have developed quite an intimate relationship by now.
Mummy, if you're hinting that we slept together, we didn't. But through no fault of my own. I mean, I do have very strong feelings for Cord. And I've always had to hide them before now because of Tina, but now that she's not here anymore, I don't have to hide them.
So how does Cord feel about you?
Well, I know that he cares about me, but he's very upset that Tina's got CJ and they're sorting out this big settlement. He's not ready for a commitment right now.
Oh, but once that divorce is final, he'll become one of the most eligible bachelors in the Commonwealth. I'm terribly pleased about this.
Mother.
Well, why shouldn't I be pleased? I always dreamt that my younger daughter would find her Prince Charming, and Cord Roberts fits the bill. Well, I think perhaps I ought to have a little dinner party so that we all get to know each other better.
We already know each other.
Darling, you're always putting a damper on your sister's excitement. I mean, Cord is her first real beau. I think we ought to be cheering her on.
Cheering her on? You're devising a plan so that she can grab a hold of him.
Oh, pooh.
Yes, Mummy. Anyway, Gabrielle, I mean, you know Cord the best. I mean, do you like him?
Yes. He's all right. We've become friends. But I don't think that you and Cord are a match made in heaven. No, I don't think you're right for each other at all. If you want my advice, you will take it very slow before you commit yourself to, well, let's say becoming a woman.
Gabrielle, Cord and I have got a lot of things in common. I mean, we like the same films, music, jokes, I mean, even the same kind of people.
Well, it still doesn't change the fact that he will never get Tina out of his system. Not only that, they have CJ in common. That'll always be a bond. It was the same thing that happened with Max and me. We always had Al. That's why Macon couldn't get past that.
Yes, but Max loved you, darling. That was the difference.
When Cord left Tina, he also admitted that he loved her. He just couldn't live with her lies and deceits any longer, but he still loves her. And I think that Deborah has a right to be number one in a man's heart.
Well, I'm not sure that she can't be number one in Cord's heart.
Well, be that as it may. I doubt it. But you've still got the Buchanans to worry about.
Well, what's wrong with them?
They have a way of running one's life. And since you already have Mother running yours, why would you want Clint, Vicky, and Beau putting their 2 cents in
Johnny,
as
that's
well?
very unfair.
It's also very true. I'm sorry. I care about Deborah. I don't want to see her get hurt. Now, I think you ought to give a little bit of time. Stay away from Cord for a bit. Think about it before you go and get into a relationship. Know what you're getting involved with.
Johnny, look, I think it's very commendable that you're trying to protect your sister. But I feel this hard line you're taking more reflects your grief over Max's death, your own fears and hurt and pain. I mean, we can't really ask Deborah to close her heart today because she might be hurt tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow she might find happiness.
Look, you asked my advice. If you're smart, you'll take it.
Now, look, please, Di, sit down.
I have a meeting with Father Valone, and you know what? I've said all I'm going to say on this subject.
I'm sorry your sister upset you. She shouldn't have said all those things. She's wrong. Simply follow your heart. Everything will be all right.
How's my favorite girl? My favorite patient?
Hungry.
It's fine. What are you doing here so early? I wasn't expecting you till this afternoon.
I wanted to give myself plenty of time to prepare for Max's surgery. I didn't interrupt anything, did I?
No, we were just talking about Europe.
Oh, Europe. I see you. Reading Lily's travel magazines.
Why don't you give this wonderful lady here, Jared, a well-deserved vacation? I mean, some romantic place like Paris, Venice. I mean, it'd be good for you to get away, too. And especially be good for Lily.
Lily's free to travel whenever she wishes. I'm much too busy at the hospital to think about a vacation.
Oh, come on, Jared. Since when have you taken a vacation? It must have been years, right? Give yourself a break. And give one to Lily here.
Max, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yes. Let's change the subject. Okay?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset either one of you. Especially you, Jared. I want you at your best. Especially if you're working on my face.
No harm done.
I'm glad. It's just that I owe a lot to Lily here. I mean, she's made my stay almost bearable, and I hate seeing her marking the days while, I don't know, she could be enjoying the bright lights of Paris.
Excuse me.
What did I say? What's going on around here, Jared?
It's an elephant that escaped from the circus, and I put him in the back, okay? So just get out of my face.
Andy, I am trying to help you. That is why I did not turn you into the cops. Can't you understand that?
Well, I would have preferred the cops to then you standing around all day annoying me.
Andy, do you really think that being grilled by the cops is going to be a piece of cake?
Yeah, considering the grilling I'm getting from you now.
Andy, there is a drug war going on. The cops and the courts are coming down real heavy on pushers and users.
Look, I'm not a user. I'm not a pusher, all right? Hey, and there's not even any proof that I even took those pills. It's just your word against mine, all right? So back off.
You really think that this is a big joke, don't you? Why don't you come down to ER tonight and watch the ambulance bring in the people who got shot and the people who were OD'd? Or take a look at the babies who were born to crack mothers. Or take a look at the 70-year-old woman who was carved up by some guy who was stoned out of his head on angel dust. Why do these things happen, Andy? They happen because jerks who have nothing better to do try drugs. Only they get hooked, Andy. And then it's not so funny anymore.
Look, I know what can happen to people on drugs, but my person isn't taking the pills or anything else.
Then why did you risk a jail term to steal these pills, Andy?
It's none of your business, all right? So just back off. No, look, I gotta get back to work, so stop asking me all these questions.
What was that, Andy? Is that your pill-popping friend? Is that why you're so anxious to get rid of me? Okay, nobody's there.
No, I told you it was an elephant. It must have snuck out.
Andy, look, protecting somebody on drugs doesn't make you their friend. It makes you the enemy. And if you think stealing drugs is an act of kindness, you're wrong. It is just another nail in his or her coffin.
Look, I'm not protecting anyone on drugs. I took the pills because it was an emergency. Now, the emergency is over. They were thrown away. If you want money for the pills, I'll get you some.
Andy, why don't you just introduce me to your friend, please? Maybe I can help that
I
person.
can't, all right? I can't. So just drop it, okay? Now, please, I've got to get back to reopening this place.
Andy, look, if you think that I'm going to give up on this, you're wrong. Because one way or another, I'm going to find out the truth from you.
I've told you the truth. You just refuse to believe it. Goodbye, Doctor. Jake! Jake, you can come out now. Andy? Oh. Oh, tell me about Max. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
oh. I really wish that Max and you could have been together.
Yeah, I wish a lot of things too, but I'm happy for the time that I spent with him, and I'm really happy for you that you became friends.
It hurts so much.
I know it's hard. It's really hard, Andy, but I know that you're strong, and you're gonna get through this. You are. We all are. And Max isn't gone. There's a part of him in all of us. He's always going to be with us.
You know that he left half this place to me and half to Al, and Gabrielle gave me control of the bar so I could continue his dream.
I think that would make Max really happy. I do.
Aren't you surprised about Gabrielle?
Yeah, a little. Bo told me that she had a real hard time with all of this at first, but that things have gotten better for her. Is that true?
Max was gonna marry her the night he died.
I know.
She's changed a lot. Mostly for the better.
What do you mean by mostly?
It's just so strange, you know? She'll be really, really giving and generous, and then all of a sudden she'd turn as cold as ice. It's like there's nothing in the middle anymore. It's really weird.
Well, you know, I think that she's just going through a lot of pain right now. She's got a lot of things to work out. Just like you and me. And so we're going to have to stick together on this one and help each other, and we're going to have to try and help Gabrielle as well.
I got so nervous. I didn't think I could sign my name.
I noticed, and so did the clerk. He was probably thinking the poor chump. She's forcing him to marry her.
What poor chump?
Oh, God.
Wait, whoa, Rice.
Wow.
Hey, geez, would you like a photo of you and your lucky bride? They're 2 for $5 and 3 for $7.
Oh, well, this isn't really my lucky bride, not just yet, but she will be soon. This is a special moment for us, so why don't we just capture this for posterity? That's great, yeah. You mind kissing me, honey?
I must.
One more, just for good luck. Great, great. Here, why don't you just send those to the address on this card. Thank you very much. Take them all, and thanks a lot for that, right? So,
Hey, if you need a wedding photographer.
well, actually, we haven't set a date yet, and my nephew happens to be a photographer, and he'd be really upset if we didn't ask him to do it.
We're not going to do anything. Whoa, we're not doing anything fancy anywhere. We're just going to have a few family members, a couple close friends. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, good health, and many years of joy.
Well,
Thank you. Bye.
My mother has high hopes on the personal level, of course, but I can handle her. The most important thing is to get a list of those young executives.
Oh, you think these high-powered young men are going to be as lenient with their check accounts as their fathers and grandfathers? I mean, after all, this is the me generation.
Yes, I know. But I have faith that I'll be able to charm them out of 5,000, but my goal is 10.
You're going to have to cook up a lot of charm.
Well, I know a recipe that's been tried and true. It hasn't failed me yet.
Gabrielle, I'm glad you're going to be working on this project with so much enthusiasm, but I'd like to warn you not to get carried away with this.
Why not? The more enthusiastic I am, the more generous these baby tycoons will be with their donation.
Okay, but when you pour on all this charm, just make sure they don't misread your intention.
My mother's urging me to do just the opposite.
I don't believe that. I think your mother would like to see you make new friends, but as for getting in over your head...
Tony, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
These are men that are used to getting what they want.
Yes, so am I.
You know, Vicky Buchanan is not expecting you to set some fundraising record here.
Maybe not. But the more money I raise, the better off it'll be for me. Besides, my one weapon is my charm.
Gabrielle, don't sell yourself short. You've got a lot going for you. And this is a worthy project, so you can just relax and let that work for you a little bit.
Once I get Outlook House off the ground, then I'll relax. And if you play your cards right, I may even raise some money for a new gym for you and the neighborhood boys.
You're going to take some time out to raise money for a new gym?
Well, if it gives me the right connections, yes, why not?
Well, I thought you were going back to these charitable works for the glory of God.
Oh, Tony. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. But this is for the glory of Gabrielle.
You'll see. You'll come around. But I am happy you're going to be dedicating this much time to it.
Yes, enterprise is the key to success.
When are you going to get this list of eligible young bachelors from Julia?
Probably tomorrow. But actually, I don't have to wait for that list. I've got someone in mind. Yeah, I think I'll probably go after Cord Roberts.
Look, when I have more time, I'll tell you all about Mendorra, okay?
Does this mean that you're staying around for a while now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So if you need me, if you need to talk, you just call me, okay? You know me, I love to give advice about things I know nothing about. And I got a shoulder if you need to lean on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just call me, okay? Call me. Take care.
Thanks for covering for me.
Yeah, well, I got worried there for a minute. I thought that Dan would catch you for sure.
Yeah. He was a little tough on you, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he'll chill out. I hope.
Who's the face? I know she looks familiar.
Megan Gordon. She, works on a soap opera, Fraternity Row. You've probably seen her face in magazines.
My kid sister, Angie. Pals the soap opera star. Over the people who get home, huh?
No. She was my first friend I made in Llanview. She and Max were together then. She is a great lady.
Too bad I won't be around to get to know her.
Of course you will.
No, as soon as I collect the money that's owed me, I gotta hit the road, Andy.
No, wait a minute. You said that you were going to stay, right? We had settled all that, and besides, you're too sick to move around.
Look, I'm 100% better than yesterday. You were a great nurse. You're a terrific sister. You're the best anybody could ask for.
And please, if you want to make me happy, you'll just stay for a little while, okay? About that problem, I'm sure it will be solved, and we'll get the bar open soon, you know, and then the money will start coming in, and you can help me, and you can have some. Please, please, just say you're going to stay for a little while, okay? Okay?
Okay, I'll think about it.
Good. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Look, I can give you about $200.
No. You keep your money. I have a feeling that I'm going to be collecting some really big bucks here.
Really big bucks means really big trouble.
Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be just fine.
It's perfectly natural for Lily to be afraid of flying. She lost her parents in a plane crash, nearly lost her own life. She's become a classic armchair traveler.
Yeah, I understand all that, Jared, but that was 10 years ago. I mean, it seems to me there's a lot more going on here.
Max, you of all people should understand the pain that Lily has experienced. The thought of getting on an airplane again could bring all that back.
Yeah, but I sense there's more to all of this. Now, I know it's none of my business, but I don't think it's fair of you to keep Lily cooped up here all the time.
Trust me. I know what's best for Lily.
Okay. I won't meddle where I don't belong anymore. Now, if you produce a miracle this afternoon, I'm out of your lives forever.
There's no harm in hoping for a miracle.
Now, wait a minute. Is that your way of telling me that you won't be able to restore my face the way it was?
I hope I can, but I can't guarantee that, Max. All I can guarantee is that I'll do my best.
Okay. Do what you need to do, and I'm ready when you are.
Okay, sure. I met Cord at Max's memorial service. I liked the way he handled himself. I liked his concern and his compassion for you. Well, I think he's going to be good. I think he's a good guy. And he's a Buchanan, so you know he's okay in the money department.
Yes, Tina mentioned that when Asa decided to slow down, he handed some of his assets over to Clint, Bo, and Cord. So I think Cord would be very happy to give to the Outlook House.
I think it's smart to start with people you know.
Actually, it's my sister who deserves the congratulations. She gave me the idea.
Oh, really? When did this happen?
She arrived back this morning with Cord. It seems as though she's head over heels for him.
Okay. Then you're going to have to put on reserve these feminine wiles of yours and go to the other guys in this list.
Why?
Why? Because if you make a play for Cord, what if your sister misunderstands that?
Oh, but Tony, I want her to misunderstand.
You want to hurt your sister?
It's short-term pain for a long-term gain. I know Cord quite well, and I also know that Deborah and Cord will be nothing more than friends. She's not the type of girl who'll hold his interest for very long. Sooner she puts her attention onto someone else, the less heartache she'll suffer.
Gabrielle, you can't manipulate someone's life, even if you have the best intentions. Maybe it'll work out for them.
Oh, I know Cord better than that.
Do I know somebody who could hold Cord's attention better than someone else? Someone who's been around a little while, someone that's very sophisticated and charming?
Well, there are a lot of women in Llanview who fit that description, yes.
Probably, but I'm thinking of one person.
Me?
Me? Yes, you, Gabrielle. I mean, what are you up to here, Gabrielle? You can't just take Cord away. Are you taking Cord away for your own reasons? I mean, reasons that have nothing to do with Deborah?
Oh, Tony. Well, that would be a very evil thing to do, don't you think?